Hey, welcome back, tribe. About to show you guys a video here, just walking around Bucharest, doing some shopping, showing you what the mall looks like, showing you what the grocery store looks like, just what you could expect, what infrastructure looks like, how modernized Eastern Europe has gotten. Curious to see how it holds up to the stereotypes and what you thought it was supposed to look like versus what it actually looks like, at least what you've been told. Anyways, enjoy and make sure to like and comment, push it up in the algorithm. Today, I just wanted to take you guys on a little walk around Bucharest. I'm going shopping with my girlfriend. We're getting some matcha lattes, then going to the mall, then the grocery store, just picking up some things we need. I just kind of wanted to make this video and walk around with you guys because all the crazy stuff we're seeing happening in the UK lately, just all the instability, the insecurity, the danger that's going on in more Western nations with like mass migration, with the crime rate skyrocketing, you know, parallel societies being formed. We're now just getting into the favorite coffee shop. I think I've shown you guys this one a couple times, and ordering a matcha latte right here. Două matcha latte ice la pachet, rog. Da. And the contrast, man, is what's startling to me, because every time I open my phone, every time I look at the news, I'm seeing crazy stuff about like far right this and extremist that, and there's like protests and riots and people getting stabbed. And you know, I know it's not happening everywhere, but it's so spotlighted that you really can't not talk about it, and it's affecting so many people. We're just walking here down the street. You see how safe it is. There's nobody doing anything crazy. Look at this fruit lady right here. She's the one I go to. Everything's locally sourced. Those are fresh, by the way. Every day they stock up, locally sourced. No chemicals. And just little shops like this, man. Everything is safe. Everything is fresh. There's no chemicals trying to kill you. There's no people like loitering around on the street corners. There's no tents. There's really nothing. And you notice it just looks clean, which is really shocking, because what I used to remember about Eastern Europe or Romania in general is it wasn't clean. And you just see, look at the type of people that are walking around, are really well kept. You're not seeing anything strange. If this was America, right here on the right is a park, you would be seeing tents everywhere, tents nonstop, just homeless people all over the place. Like, I've lived in major metropolitan areas and it's packed with homeless people, unfortunately, whether it's from mental illness or they even still have jobs, or there's just cars parked on the side everywhere. People are just living out of their cars. It's crazy, man, what's happening to America and Western Europe in general. And here, as we're walking, we're going to be approaching where the mall at. This may be called a business district, depending on your definition, but we're crossing the road here, and you just take a look at the people and what everybody looks like. And it's nothing like we were told Romania was supposed to be. Honestly, I'm shocked, and I've been living here a year and I'm still surprised. Like, it almost seems dull, to be honest. The amount of families that you see, the amount of people that are just out with their kids constantly out at all hours of the day, couples all hours of the day. People there on the left were taking their smoke break, I believe. Smoking still big in Eastern Europe, unfortunately. That's a negative. But yeah, it was around 12 o'clock where we filmed this. You're seeing people basically coming around through for their lunch break. And this is just on an ordinary Wednesday. Trash, guys. Do you see any trash? Any filth? Anything like that? Pretty much things are well manicured. It's not like this everywhere, of course. I mean, you can make this comparison in the nice areas of the United States, but this also isn't a place where the ultra rich live basically 2 roads down next to the ultra poor, and they're behind gated communities, and it's impossible to go anywhere without a car. I mean, you can walk. We're walking to the mall from where I live. You can walk to the coffee shop. You can walk to the grocery store. Transportation is not required. If you want to go further, I've said it before, it costs a couple dollars just to use an Uber. Hell, even cheaper if you want to rent one of those scooters over there. I mean, literally you can zip to wherever you want to within probably 10 minutes on the ground on foot. And that's walking slow, recording stuff. I could probably jog here in 5 minutes. I mean, it's the walkability of the cities. I can't stress enough how amazing it is. Just seeing people out and about going to the mall like this on a random Wednesday at noon. You don't need a car. You don't need big, giant parking lots. Look how many people are enjoying lunch or whatever it is. That's like a little cafe, a little bakery. Just everybody's coming and going from the mall. Notice obesity is pretty rare here, but just look at the mall, man. It's super clean. The last mall that I went to in America was one of my childhood ones, and it was already in bankruptcy. All that was left was like a Sears. Mall culture in America has pretty much died with the advent of Amazon and online shopping, so malls like this are less and less, and they've gotten a bit dirty and ghetto, and people don't respect them anymore. But this mall is fairly empty at the moment. Of course, on the weekends it gets packed, but it's just more of the same what you see, just more families and just people taking a break from the work week and shopping. The usual. Nothing crazy to report, but just wanted to show you guys infrastructure in general. I mean, everybody hears about Eastern Europe. You may be thinking like infrastructure is probably shit. You hear stories about how electricity like is not really consistent and turns on and off depending on, the network being stressed. So just look at how everything's built. I mean, what could you possibly say? Is this what you had in mind when people say like you live in Romania and, oh, well, he must live in some shithole in the countryside, some hay house, some old stone building, and like that's what they picture it being, like vampires and all this crazy shit. But as you can see, if I told you this was somewhere in America right now, probably in a small town, you would believe me. So in the store, they have a baby changing station. Not something you see every day in America. How often do you see a baby station? Like that's one of the weird quality of life / like cultural differences you see when you move to Eastern Europe. When I say family is still a big deal, I mean your local market has a freaking baby changing station. Isn't that insane? Like walking into a CVS and there's a place where you can change your baby's diaper and all that stuff. Clearly, this is a society that has its head on right and what's still important and what matters. But this maybe should serve everybody as a reminder, as a wake-up call, what modernization looks like. When I say there's no amenities in America that you couldn't find here, I mean, this is what I mean. Honestly, I could tell you this is a small town in Colorado. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I mean, look, everything's written in English pretty much. A majority of the product descriptions are in English. Look, that said 50% off. Caffeine boost right here on the left. This is what I call a caffeine boost. You see, I mean, everything is English. So for the guys that are, a bit nervous of traveling abroad because they may not be sure how well they'll get along in society and function. Look, traffic control. This is what I call traffic control. I mean, I'm telling you guys, English is the international business language. People can speak it pretty damn fluently here. You will not have any trouble coming to Eastern Europe and just getting by with English only. Not only that, but everybody, at least not until recently, but everybody used to look up to American culture and wanted to be American, and they were watching all the movies in America, watching all the TV shows in America, all American media, Hollywood, all that stuff was what was the most popular in the world. So all the kids, all the young ones would try to emulate American culture and American style. Believe me, the younger the crowd gets, the more and more proficient they are at English. So if you're afraid of limitations like not being able to speak another language, don't be. Just make an effort to learn the absolute basic phrases. Thank you, hello, bye, things of that nature. Please and thank you, and you'll do just fine. I mean, people will get excited that you're at least learning the basics. And then we're about to step into, look, this is like, I guess you call this the business district. I mean, look just how clean it looks, all the buildings. Nothing decrepit, nothing like old communist style. You'll find that in Old Town, but not really here in northern Bucharest. This is much newer build on everything, and you'll see a cool mix of old and new. Communist meets capitalism. And so it's sprouting all over the place. Where old buildings are coming down, new buildings are going up. And here we're about to walk next to the mall. And this is just one mall of many. You have I guess you could call this a Sprouts. It's a higher end grocery store in terms of quality. They got a lot of organic everything next to a Turkish kitchen restaurant. Never been there, but might try it one day. And just walking in here, getting some groceries, whatever else little things we need. Just want you guys to see what it's like inside, how clean it is, what's available on the shelves. I think that's another part of the stereotype. People remember what communism days were like, where things weren't available, where there were rations. But when you open the door here and see everything you could ever want exists here and in abundance, to the point where it even shocked my parents. And they left in the early 90s, guys, right after communism, when that was the reality. The country was in tatters economically speaking. Voila, look at this. You have everything here. Honestly, do you see anything that could be missing? I mean, we're going to walk around the store a little bit and you'll see what I mean. Like, it's pretty much just like everything you would expect in America. That's the little fruit section, bread, and then we're going in the back of the store. You get into the more, shitty packaged foods. But even here, the packaged foods are pretty good for you because there's no insane amount of chemicals and preservatives in them that make you sick. There's like 3,000 banned chemicals in the EU alone. So most of the products that you see on the store shelves here won't actually kill you, which is kind of crazy because I'm used to reading the back of labels and checking the nutrition and checking all the little chemicals and learning what each does, what dye is this, what preservative is that, how it affects you. And because I started getting some sensitivities just from the most basic foods that would have, hidden ingredients in there that you would not expect. It's like, dude, bread should have 2-3 ingredients max. Why does it have 10 on the package? What is going on? Checking out all the other people shopping for their things. There's the little food bar, same stuff you're used to in the United States. Over there, people are getting like their freshly made sandwiches, cheeses, whatever it is that you need from behind there, stuffed peppers with cheese or jalapeno wrapped chicken bites, you know, whatever it is. They have a bunch of stuff available there. It's around 12 o'clock here, so they form a little line back there for people that are coming in their lunch break from the businesses around and grab something warm to eat. Over here getting some nectarines, super decrepit looking, absolute fake communist garbage. They're painted, obviously. Duh, look at this other shit communist building. So disgusting. I mean, it's dirty everywhere. How could you possibly live here? It's a joke. It's a joke, dude. Once you come out here and you see that you've been lied to your whole life, like your jaw is on the floor. Come on, man. Look at this. Is this really what they've been pushing down your throat and making you believe like the rest of the world looks like this? Maybe in the 90s. Yes, in the 90s, truly, it was true. But nowadays, the reality is completely different. You won't know until you actually go travel, until you see this with your own eyes, that societies can function far better than the ones in the United States and the West in general. It seems like the West is going backwards, and these countries that we called backwards are now the ones making progress, real progress, and not just monetarily or materialistically. I'm talking about actual progress in regards to family, in regards to healthcare, in regards to just living a much better, more fulfilled life with work-life balance being at the forefront. If you like this style episode and want me to make more like this, just walk and talk, showing you around Bucharest so you can see for yourself what it's really like. Dispel some of the stereotypes that maybe get you interested in coming out here or just exploring the world in general, man. It's kind of different everywhere. Let me know any topics to cover. I try to make this episode more of a show and tell. Appreciate you guys tuning in. See you on the next one.